And just once my children know I love them, that is the most important thing in my life. And once they know it.
I thought what was interesting there was he said, because we've been talking half the afternoon because everything you've gone through is so fascinating. You were saying that, and he said it there, to look at yourself, because when you give out to yourself and say, oh, I'm this and that, and I have too much weight, and I'm not good at this. He said to look at yourself through the eyes of people that love you. Yeah. Rather than the battering, self-battering that we give ourselves. Yeah, and I have been doing that since meeting Brian, and it's like he's helped me lift a weight off my shoulders, and I just feel so good. Right. And how are you doing that? What do you mean? Do you stop yourself, or?
I do. Normally I would be kind of more conscious and more concerned of what other people would think of me and how they would perceive me. And in realistic terms, like, they might only be in my life for 5 or 10 minutes and then they're gone. But yet I would carry that burden of, well, what did I say this? Did I do this? Did I do this wrong? And really, once they've left, they don't really care. Yeah. But I've kept it kind of as a knot. And Brian, thankfully, has helped me to loosen that knot and just let it go. You know what I mean? Just my family and my friends are the most important things. And if I can only get one thing across in my experience, it's you have to like yourself. You have to love yourself. And if you don't love yourself straight away, start liking yourself, because you will get there. And I'm just so grateful for this whole experience. It's been amazing.
How's the insomnia going? Because when you came in, I mean, it's interesting, because when I talked to you first, you sort of brushed over a lot and said, I just want a bit more oomph back in my life. Life's a bit stale, I just want to get... But then, of course, I mean, as with everything, as you get deeper into these things, you find out more and more about yourself and what they're true. You were very... All these things that you were talking about were making you really stressed. And how long have you not been sleeping for, not been sleeping well? I haven't been sleeping well for, I'd say, close on to a year. Just over the past few months, it's been kind of getting tougher and tougher to sleep. But that's another thing Brian helped me to realise as well. As I was saying in my first appearance here, my second boy is leaving the country shortly. And it's just... that has kind of put a little bit of stress on me as well. But yet I'm so proud of my children, and the fact that he's going away, I know, has kind of put on another little bit of stress because I'm worried about him. But I'm just so proud and happy for him. Now that's a new thing, because initially it was sort of like most parents would... I mean, mine are only 4, but the thoughts of them moving to us, 2 of your boys are in Australia now, thoughts of them moving over would kill you. And you can only see the negative part in that. But that's a new thing that's come out of you this week, that you're looking at, oh, how proud I am of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Nina's on the phone. Nina, are you there? Hello?
Hi, Shana. Hi, Dot.
Nina, I don't know if you've been listening here. I've been chatting to Dot. Nina, unfortunately, she couldn't get over here because of there's problems with air delays in Heathrow Airport. I don't know, did you hear anything of what Dot said, Nina?
Well, I did hear a bit, but I also spoke to Dot earlier today.
Yeah.
And she sounds fantastic.
It's very interesting. She's given us all a great insight about about changing the negative thoughts to the positive thoughts by looking at yourself through other people's eyes rather than beating yourself up. What do you think of all of that?
I think that's wonderful. I think often, we don't treat ourselves as well as we would treat someone else. And if we can start seeing ourselves the way someone else sees us, then that's incredibly powerful, I think.
I have to say, Dot was very lucky because she got to go see Brian. She's getting to talk to people at the moment, which is not something that all of us can do because, it costs money and all of that. How can somebody come to all of these conclusions? Like, are there books you can read? Or how can somebody do all of this work and make themselves happy without having to go see somebody?
Well, obviously I can recommend my own book, which is very much like working through the kind of questions that you'd talk to someone about, the Big Book of Me. And it just really takes you through step by step the kind of things that Dot will have gone through. But it's also just noticing the way you're behaving towards yourself. I mean, Dot was saying she was beating herself up a lot. And I think a lot of us do that. You know, you suggest to someone, why don't you make one goal for the day, and they come up with 3. And it's just taking it easy, doing little things at a time, and just noticing how you're improving.
Okay. The one thing as well, can you actually take control of your happiness? I mean, Dot, from your perspective, can you actually take control of your happiness and change it and shift it? Is it possible?
I'm hoping. But I think the most important thing is not to expect too much from yourself, to take one step at a time.
Okay. Nina, what about you?
Well, I think it was very much when we started, we were looking very much at Dot's creativity. And I really think, you know, with her tap dancing, sounded wonderful. It's a great place to start, sort of remembering what you loved as a child, what creative things you used to do. And just going back into that. And I think that will start making an enormous difference. And then you can build up from there.
What's the next step for Dot now, Nina?
I think just taking things a little bit easy, having more conversations with her son, noticing every day what she's achieving, how she's changing, what she's enjoying. I think that's really important.
Okay. Thank you for that, Nina.
Thank you, Shayna.
You're very good to come to the phone. I know it's been a difficult morning trying to travel for you this morning. Dot, thank you very much for coming in. You have a lovely smile on your face today.
Thank you.
We'll have all of Nina's information, the book and all different details on our website. And Dot's going to be back next week doing what she is doing, and hopefully Nina can make it over with us as well. Thank you, Dot.